Hey hun, I wonder why there are already financial programs in foreign country schools, but in most Vietnam schools, there are not any financial programs yet.
Have you heard the saying, teaching children about finances is never too early?
I've heard it too. Is it saying that we should implement financial education for our children?
You're right. Many parents do not teach their children about finance when they are young because these parents think that their children are not at a certain age to understand. However, this is a wrong misconception, and these parents should teach their children about money when they are as young as 6 or 7 years old.
Oh yes, I also researched online and saw financial education from different perspectives. First, I had to mention that Jonathan Sanchez, a self-made millionaire, shared that he taught his children about finance as follows. First, he always wants his children to spend something carefully. Before Sanchez's child wants to buy a toy, he will ask them 3 questions so that they can consider buying a toy first. And he thinks that instead of forbidding children to spend, he wants to guide them to think for themselves and make reasonable decisions to optimize the value they receive in each expenditure. And then he also wants to save his children to save early and don't expect to get rich soon. He often tells his children the story of the tortoise and the hare, emphasizing the importance of being patient, slow, and steady to get the lasting results.
One of the world's biggest investors and billionaires is also taught about finances from a very young age. Do you know who is the idol I'm talking about?
Is it Warren Buffett?
That's right. From a young age, he was taught by his father and grandfather how to make money. His first business started when he was only 6 years old, selling candy to friends and soda to neighbors. And soon after, he made his own money from newspaper delivery and savings. After that, it's truly amazing how Warren Buffett owned his first farm at the ripe age of only 14. All the accumulated effort I experienced are not in vain in the end, right?
Yes, but what specifically is financial education and why do people object to this?
So, to answer the question, teaching financial literacy, understanding, skills, behavior, attitude, and values that allow people to make wise and effective financial decisions in their daily lives and as adults is what financial education is about. And the reason why many people object to this, especially parents to their little kids, is that because they think that these children are too small to understand. But however, research shows that children's mindset about money form at an early age. Therefore, parents should cultivate their children to form good money concepts and financial management methods from an early age, right in the first or second grade instead of waiting for years until the right timing comes.
And if you're not even good with money, how can you survive in society when you grow up? Something as simple as letting children do the market and choosing goods is a simple and effective way to teach children. On the other hand, is to learn how to stockpile and save from pocket money. Start a foundation with a piggy bank, then every time you get a salary, put around 10% of the money into the safe so that the accumulated amount is gradually larger. This teaches children to try to achieve their goals, such as buying something they like.
That also taught us to keep an expense journal, right? It is actually extremely useful in addition to helping parents to understand their children's spending choices. All you need is just to prepare a notebook and now you're set. Record your income and expenditure, learn how to calculate and manage your own money on your own. Other than that, I'm 14 years old this year, which means I can legally set up a bank account for myself. And for this particular reason, I want to learn what to do with the money and to have a preliminary understanding of the bank. And also about the role of different savings, insurance, and account management products play in raising awareness about investment and assets.
To get money for things, we have to earn it first. Therefore, parents should advise children to earn money, not to earn additional living expenses, but also a useful activity to help children interact with society and become more mature. I feel like Warren Buffett.
Parents' decisions, but the effect is on the child and the future. Those small actions can have huge effects. Like if you accept to let your children learn about financial management when they are still small. From a very young age, when they are still 8 or 7, they will know how to spend money correctly. They will understand the value of money and know how to manage finances appropriately and properly. This will give them an easier life later on and also let them be the money's employer. But if you decide to not let your child learn about financial studying, then they will have wasteful or improper spending of money. They will have wrong perceptions of money and also bad habits. You know that habits are very hard to get rid of, right?
Yes?
They will follow you until you're an adult. This will create them many hardships and also headache about money whenever they should cut off this paycheck, whenever they should eat less so they can pay for this or that. And that will just makes your life much harder. And this makes you become the money's employee. I have a quote for you. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah?
It's actually very meaningful and it's my personal favorite. It is that make money work for you, not work for money. Or another one is that be money's employer, not be money's employee.
Our exposure to money and what we absorb from our environment affects our thinking. Do you see that many schools in Vietnam currently do not have a financial program? Even today, a variety of parents are only concerned that their children study main subjects like math, literature, etc. and get good grades, but do not pay attention to teaching their children about finance.
The first tip that we want to share with you is that to teach your children to save and categorize money for spending. Whenever they receive money from rewards, New Year's or birthday presents, we have to teach them to save their funds by dividing it into 4 yards as follows. Firstly, the saving yards, in which contain the money collected for a specific purpose, takes up around 30% of the total fund. Secondly, the investment yard, in which the money is used for parents to teach their children how to invest, also take around 30%. Thirdly, the donation yard. This money will be given to people who have more difficult circumstances than you. This is also a way to teach your child about sympathy and to have more emotions and feel lucky about your current situation. And lastly, the spending yard, in which contains the amount of money to be used at the child's discretion, around 30% also, and this will be the free space where the kid can use it for whatever they desire.
And also, another way to teach your kids about finance is talk to your kids about money early. When communicating with children about money, parents must move from the simplest things, such as going to the supermarket to buy rice, what kind of rice to buy, or teaching children the difference between wants and needs. As your children get older, talk to them about more difficult topics, such as how to manage money properly. Do you want to share another financial principles with me?
I also have another tip to share with you, and this is also mentioned before, just like the 2 tips that you told me. It is to control children's wants and needs. These little kids always want to buy everything that they want. They see, oh my god, this toy looks so cool, Dad, I want it. Or they see, oh my god, that lollipop looks so good, I must get it. Dad, please. This can inadvertently cause children to spend money emotionally rather than logically. As a parent, you wouldn't want a child to spend so lavishly. So, teaching your child the concept of want and needs is a must. They must be able to differentiate between needs, things that must be had and are essential, and wants, things that are wanted but not essential. So, can I give you an example?
Sure, why not?
For example, you have 10 coins, right? You need to buy pens so you can study, and those pens cost 10 coins. But you also want that new toy that just released, that every one of your friends have and they're all bragging about it. And that toy is also 10 coins. So, which one will you spend your money on?
I think that I will spend on the pens because it's very important to my studies and it is what I need.
Yes, that's the correct answer. And I'm happy that you understand between wants and needs and that you can spend money on what you really want. I really need.
Throughout this conversation, I learned from my experience that it's never too early to teach kids about finance. Teaching kids about finance gives them a head start on their financial future.
There's also a quote that I dedicate to a lot. It is from Robert Kiyosaki, who that we know about a lot and our dad tells us about a lot too, right?
Yeah.
So he said, if you don't teach your children about money, someone else will replace you in the future. Then who will? It could be a creditor, it could be a profiteer, it could be a police officer, or it could even be a scammer. Financial intelligence education is not to turn a child into a miser, but to instill a healthy concept of value in them, so that they have the ability to make a certain money-making plan. Radio Rendezvous is a place to share the perspective of the Gen Z on multiple issues globally.
Thanks for listening and see you in the following interesting topics.